Highway 60 or Route 60 is a south-north intercity road in Israel and the West Bank that stretches from Beersheba to Nazareth. The route is also known as the Way of the Patriarchs, since it follows the path of the ancient highway that runs along the length of the central watershed, and which figures prominently in the travels of the biblical patriarchs. From its junction with Highway 40 in Beersheba to the city's outskirts, Route 60 is a dual carriageway with at-grade intersections, while it continues on to serve as the main north-south artery between Israeli settlements and Palestinian communities such as the cities of Hebron and Bethlehem in the southern West Bank. It is a two-lane, shoulderless road until past Hebron at Gush Etzion Junction, where it regains its lane separation until short of Bethlehem, that section having recently been widened. Upon entering Jerusalem, its lanes are again mostly separated as it serves as a central artery in the city center. In the northern quarters it becomes a separate grade freeway with multiple interchanges, from where it continues through the central and northern West Bank as a two-lane road, not being divided again until the stretch between Afula and its terminus in downtown Nazareth. At present, the highway is non-contiguous pending final status agreement between Israel and the Palestinians. The section through Jenin is closed to yellow license plates. The sections north and south of the West Bank and through Jerusalem are closed to green license plates. Due to it running through a mainly rural setting, many of the junctions along its route feature hitchhiking posts called trempiadas. Highway 60 in Jerusalem. Within Jerusalem, Highway 60, known by the municipality as the Talpiot Ataro Taxis and often referred to by its official Jerusalem municipality designation, Road 1, is the central north-south artery running through the city center. The Jerusalem portion of the road begins at the Tunnels Road, passes the edges of Gilo and Beit Safafa, joins the Hebron Road from Bethlehem and continues northward through Talpiot. This section is divided with multiple lanes and has undergone recent construction to include dedicated bus lanes and infrastructure for its eventual conversion into a line of the Jerusalem Light Rail. At its junction with David Remez Street, in the Abu Tor neighborhood, Route 60 narrows and descends into the Hinnom Valley, curving around Sultan's Pool directly under Mount Zion. It then ascends as Hatavate Yerushalayim Street to intersect with the Jaffa Gate entrance to the Old City of Jerusalem. From there it runs underneath the Jaffa Gate Square, briefly overlaps Jaffa Road and then enters Attribution Tunnel, passing underneath Jerusalem's New Gate. It emerges just west of the Damascus Gate intersecting with Street of the Prophets, again becoming a divided street. This section of the road includes tracks for the now completed Jerusalem Light Rail's Red Line, briefly called Hail HaHandasa Boulevard and then Haim Bar Lev Boulevard. It continues northward passing Mishiram, the American colony, and French Hill, until Minot Zagen Junction, where it becomes a separate grade freeway. As a freeway, it interchanges with Highway 1 at Shara Mazrah. The freeway then bypasses Shuafat with one of the longest and highest bridges in the country, feeding into Beit Hanina and Pisgate Zev with two more interchanges. It continues as an at-grade road intersecting with Neve Yaakov Boulevard, and finally exits the city near Calandia. Bypass roads. Before the Oslo Accords, Palestinians lived under Israeli authority and could travel freely on the road. After the Palestinian Authority assumed control over various cities, Israel established checkpoints on areas of the route which entered Palestinian jurisdiction. New routes of highway were paved so that Israeli traffic could bypass the Palestinian towns in order to reduce friction. These so-called bypass roads, while a contentious issue in their own right due to the varying levels of limitation on Palestinian access, also served as an improvement to the road which allowed traffic to flow around, rather than through the heart of congested urban areas. One of the more sophisticated segments, built inland east to the Green Line set in 1967, is the stretch known as the Tunnels Highway, designed by a French firm. The route leads from southern Jerusalem to the Gush Etzion settlements block area, bypasses upper ground in Bethlehem, but yet is built under lands confiscated from the municipal boundaries of the city prior to the IDF control of the West Bank in 1967, leading to the northwest using a pair of tunnels. The northern tunnel, called the Gillow Tunnel because it is adjacent to the Gillow neighborhood settlement, is 270 meters long. The second tunnel, called the Reef Aim Tunnel based on the nearby Reef Aim Valley and passing under Har Gillow and Beit Jala, is 900 meters long, making it the longest road tunnel in the West Bank. The tunnels are linked by the West Bank's highest and longest bridge, crossing the Walajar Valley. Arab-Israeli conflict. Route 60 was a central scene of violence during the Al-Aqsa Intifada, which was in part defined by the thousands of shooting attacks on its Israeli traffic, including hundreds of casualties. The Israeli army, in response, has fortified various sections with anti-sniper walls and had established checkpoints along the route. The Tunnels Highway came under particularly heavy assault during the shooting on Gillow neighborhood since it lies between Gillow and Beit Jala. The concrete barriers employed on other dangerous stretches of road were too heavy to be supported by the bridge, and so a barrier of bulletproof composite armor similar to that employed on Merkava tanks was constructed. The road was also the site of terrorist attacks in June, August 2010, and June 2015. Junctions.